To that. Tommy Robinson, it's a name you will all have heard of, former leader of the English Defence League, and, you know, a very high-profile and controversial figure. And now I'm allowed to say it, because I've not been for a few days, which is ridiculous, and let me explain why. Tommy Robinson has been jailed for 13 months for contempt of court. And to many people, this is absolute proof that we're moving into a police state, that something truly awful is happening. Well, you've got half a point, folks, but only half a one. Let's be clear. Tommy Robinson was under a court order not to interfere with the judicial process in any way at all. He chose, for reasons of self-publicity, and not to benefit anything that would help society. He chose willfully to breach that. He was warned that he was in breach of that, decided to continue. Frankly, the judge had almost no choice but to give him a jail sentence. So I think Robinson, frankly, was out there asking for trouble, and I don't think it was a very bright thing to do. Now, against that, let me just say that there does appear to be a very strong desire and willingness amongst much of the police and our judiciary to clamp down on people who make certain criticisms in society. And we are not dealing here with a level playing field. The whole point about religious freedom and tolerance is we should all be able to criticise and even mock each other. And I do worry that we're moving into a position where you can criticise some groups in society but not criticise others. And I think for those of you who see Robinson as a hero, well, OK, maybe he does stand up for his point of view. But believe you me, his imprisonment in this case is not heroic in any way at all. And that, of course, will surprise some of you. But let me just say this finally. The fact we weren't allowed to talk about this for several days because of reporting restrictions is just a nonsense, because the internet has been awash with it. And the reason is the legislation covering reporting restrictions came in 1982 when, well, hardly anybody even had a computer back in 1982, let alone the internet. And we're in this ridiculous world where newspapers, television stations, radio stations are told, under reporting restrictions, they can't discuss some things, but out there on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, or whatever it is, there's a big open discussion going on. It's a nonsense, and I do feel that what I've just said about Robinson, I'd much rather have said at the end of last week than having to wait legally until today. Something fundamental needs to change with our reporting laws. The internet has changed the game. So maybe, just maybe, Parliament should wake up to that as well as the issue we're discussing tonight.